What's going on, y'all? So listen, I got a bump on my lip and it's bothering me. It's going away. Oh, good. Oh, because yesterday it was red because I was picking with it. But, you know, it is what it is. Y'all, how y'all doing? I'm doing good. You know, the weather. Listen, to be quite honest, I be thriving in this weather because it's been a little cold and I was okay with it. And then all of a sudden it got a little warm and I was just like, girl, okay, whatever. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. But anyway, how everybody been doing? I know some have been doing better than most or better than some because a lot has been going on lately. Well, literally just happened. We might talk about it. I don't really care. But I don't even want to be on here that long because one, cramps, two, hunger. I gotta stop doing that, y'all. Like, I'm gonna get myself together. But anyway, let's just get up into the video. I hope you guys have been doing great. Happy birthday to those who are still having birthdays. You know what I'm saying? Happy Virgo season. I got a Virgo in my life that's coming up. Girl. Anyway. You know how y'all are. Moving on. First of all, let's get this out the way and let's start with some local Chicago news. Because I want to talk about this for a second. Out here in Chicago, probably a couple days ago or so, was it Monday? Monday, I believe it was. Ramika Meeks, 31 years old. She was down in the South Loop taking her son to school, right? Taking her son to school, left a little note in his lunchbox, said, you can start off strong, always remain yourself. You're the coolest, smartest, and funniest kid I know. I love you so much and you make me so proud. Have a great day. Mommy loves you. Love, Mommy. You know what? I want her baby daddy and his new baby mama, I want them under the ground. I want them under the ground so big because what they did was so messed up and we don't even have all of the details. But listen, if you out here and if you could put two and two together, you know what it is, okay? So basically, like I said, Ramika was out there taking her son to school in the morning. To school where she was then confronted by her ex, which is her baby daddy, okay, her son's father, and his current baby mama or whatever. And basically them two got into a little tiff, okay? He comes out some way somehow, and then he, from what people were saying, he put that girl in a headlock. He put the girl in a headlock, and then the baby mama wound up taking her life. Point blank. Took it out on her and point blank shot it at her face. You know what I'm saying? And then just stood there in the crowd on the phone against the car like she didn't do nothing. And so when the cops showed up, you got in the video the baby daddy Carlos, okay, or whatever the fuck your name is. He up there trying to tell them to shut up. Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, all that stuff, and trying to tell. Like, no. Because at the end of the day, you set that up. I don't get, I'm going to say that it looked like he set it up. And I'm going to tell you why. From what I was hearing, he basically couldn't let that lady leave, let her go. You literally are being a punk ass nigga because you can't get back at your ex because she don't want you. So therefore, let me seek my current on to her. Ramika had a restraining order against him. So he wasn't even supposed to be there in her presence at all. And then the fact that he was there, the fact that he did put his hands on her, putting her in a headlock, the fact that you got, and I'm going to say this, you got the right person to do the job for you. Because now she's in jail, okay, and you're not. Because you got a dumb broad, and I just got to say it like it is, a dumb broad who will go to jail behind a man. Because of what? The whole time it's like 9 out of 10, we don't even know the whole backstory of what was going on and how did it get to this point where this new baby mother is so jealous and so upset and all this stuff, got a problem with the other baby mama, given the fact that the baby mama one has a restraining order against your man. So therefore your issue should be with your man. That girl don't want him around. That's what the restraining order is for. So therefore, why are you upset at her to the point that you're going to come up there while she is dropping off her son at school? Her son, which is also a sibling to your child. So now you're going to have two kids, and no matter, I don't even know how many other kids she got, but two kids at the least, who are motherless, because you're going to jail and you're going to get jail time because it's all on tape. You have the witnesses that was there telling the cops exactly what was going on and what happened. And you did all of this behind a man who was trying to get back with his baby mama, who was upset that his baby mama didn't want to be with him. His first baby mama didn't want to be with him. Like, are you serious? Like, he really put that battery in her back. And I'm pretty sure he probably was telling her shit the opposite of what was really going on to get her to do this. And you know you got some weak-minded women, unfortunately, who will do anything behind a man. Behind a man who got multiple baby mamas, who's not fully 100% claiming you, will not marry you, don't do right by you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I feel so bad for the kids, for all the kids involved. I feel bad that they got an ain't shit daddy, okay? I feel bad that that lady's, Ramika's son, that is the last moment that he would, and I really hope that he did not see this. Because imagine how that affect him. It's one thing to know that your mother passed away because she went and dropped you off at school. And then it's another thing to have actually seen it or at least heard it. You know what I'm saying? That's really terrible. And it just goes to show that y'all let matters of the heart get to you too much and you don't use your brain. You don't use your brain. You lead with your heart in situations where you need to lead with your brain and lead with common sense. You didn't give a damn about your child. So therefore, you go out here and be selfish and take away motherhood from your child and take away mother from another child. All over a man who basically put this in motion so that you can take the fall for it. All for get back because she didn't want to be with you no more. That's literally what it was looking like. That's what it's looking like. And I won't be surprised if it comes out that that's literally what the situation is. Okay? Because again, he's still out at this current moment that I last checked. And now you're in jail because of this whole situation. And now you got, I really hope that them kids are not in his presence for real, because he don't need them. He don't need them. Chicago, y'all need to do what y'all need to do. Okay? Because no. And actually, when it comes down to it, speaking of Chicago, Ramika, I hope you get all of the justice that you need and that you deserve. You didn't deserve that. You did not deserve to be taken out the way that you did and be going through all of the mess that you had to in this life. That's really messed up. But also, speaking of Chicago, girl, them peoples is out here. The ICE and them is out here. And they sending National Guards and stuff. Girl, I want to see one of them trucks roll down here. And I want to be like, bitch, what? Okay, because you not finna do us. But, yeah, and, you know, it was the Taste of Chicago this weekend. Did I know? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But I was seeing, like, reports and pictures and things of that such of it. And it was just showing that basically, I mean, it was people that showed up, but I remember back in the day when the Taste of Chicago used to actually be the Taste of Chicago, okay? And what I mean about that is everybody and their mama was down there, okay? It wasn't just a tourist type of situation. I mean, everybody and their mama was down at the Taste of Chicago. It used to be packed out. I can only remember me going to the Taste of Chicago one time, and that was with my sperm donor, and we had never been, and we had to beg him to go. And then when we went, we couldn't even get nothing. That's how much of a terrible ass, like, what the, is the point of going, and you're not gonna let us get anything. Listen. Do you know what the Taste of Chicago is? It's called Taste. Okay, so basically, it's a whole bunch of vendors down in Grand Park or whatever, and food vendors and everything, and you just taking. But bitch, I'm pretty sure the shit is probably expensive nowadays. But yeah, he ain't let us get nothing. I was like, what the fuck was we here for then? Okay. But yeah, that was going on. And people is either had now, people are like, stuff is way too expensive. You know, a lot of the things have gone down. With everything that's been going on with the government, the tariffs and all this stuff, the economy, you know, inflation is a bitch, you know, all of that stuff. And people just ain't got it. Rent high. You know, cost of living just out of this world. People ain't getting paid enough. People just ain't got it to do extracurricular all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's very unfortunate. But, you know, we got 3 more years. We got to hang in there for 3 more years. Make that 4, because the next person that comes into office, we gotta give them a little time to reverse all this bullshit. That's just really what it is. But yeah. That's what's going on out here in Chicago. Also, what else is going on? When I finished the video last week, Roland Ray did pass away, and that was really, really sad. That was really, really sad. And what made it even more sad was the fact of the matter is, I knew that we all kind of knew that he was having health problems. If you followed, or not even follow somebody, and I remember somebody had randomly asked probably like a month or so ago, hey, what's up with Roland Ray? We haven't seen him like on the timeline or nothing like that. And then somebody said, oh, you know, he just been a little sick, but he all good or whatever. He still be posting or something like that. And I said, oh, okay, because I don't follow him on on Instagram or nothing like that. But I do be seeing him all the time. I remember seeing him all the time on my timeline on TikTok. Not TikTok. Why I keep on saying TikTok? Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Been seeing him there all the time. But, yeah. And then his mother did confirm when I read that Facebook post. That was really his mother basically saying that he did pass. And again, like I said, the most sad thing about it is he passed 2 days before his 29th birthday. That's wow. Passing before, on, or right after your birthday, I can only imagine. You know, I know he was a funny dude. I know he was very slick with his mouth, with the things that came out of his mouth, whatever. I know he was polarizing or whatever. But at the end of the day, he did a lot. You know what I'm saying? Becoming like Insta famous and all that shit, if you want to call it. For somebody that is having a disability that he has, I don't know what type of disability it is, but you know, he was wheelchair bound and everything, and he still made a way. And you know, I never really seen him basically use his disability as a crutch, you know what I'm saying, or as an excuse for this and as an excuse for that. But yeah, he was a funny dude. He could be real rude at times. This is what happens when you try to be so nosy, cause like somebody is out there in the hallway and I'm trying to listen to it. Hold on. Okay, that was my neighbor next door just coming in. Listen, she got a new dog. Okay? It's a puppy. And I only found this out because Monday and Tuesday I didn't have to go to work. And then all of a sudden, like on Monday, I was hearing this like barking, little small barking, but it was sounding like a little cry, whatever. And I was like, what the fuck? It was a little bit too clear. And I know the neighbor next door over here ain't got no dog. But it was next door over there. And I was just like, oh. And I just was feeling so bad, y'all. I was feeling so bad because the puppy was just over there crying because she was at work. And this was going on for the next 2 days. And when I got up this morning to get ready for work, whatever, the puppy was over there crying. And then, you know, I did see her, you know, taking her out, coming back in from taking her out to go walk or whatever. Cute little thing. And They both small. They both small. I said, "Oh yeah, you got a dog that fits that fits you." I could just tell. I man my business, but I was looking, and it was so cute and so sweet. See, let me tell you something. Before I get up, rest in peace, Roland Ray. Rest in peace. Okay, but here's the thing. I want to get a dog so bad. Okay, and at one point it was heavily on my mind. But then the part about it that really kind of stopped me is because, one, I am in an apartment building. Yes, like they do allow pets, okay? But at the same time, it's like I'm thinking maybe I be overthinking sometimes, because that's what I do. I overthink. I ain't even gonna hold you. I overthink, and it's like I don't want my little baby to be up in here by him or herself. You know what I'm saying? And when I'm at work. And then I had kind of pushed that to the side for a second, right? And then now it's all coming back after hearing the little baby over there. And I'm just like, ugh, I want to be a dog mom so bad. Because I ain't going to be nobody else's mama, okay? I want to be a dog mom for sure. But I just don't want to leave them in the apartment. Because listen, here's my thing. I don't want to disturb my neighbors, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't want to leave them in the house by themselves. Like, I be thinking maybe when I get a partner or whatever. But then I get a partner, bitch, they got to go to work too. So it's just like, what? Then I was like, when I move into a house, because I'm looking at I'm looking at houses or whatever, because, yeah, that's my next move. Then maybe I get one if it was in a house or whatever. But the way that I am, once I get an idea in my head, it's going to stay there. Even if it fades away for a second, it's going to pop back up until I do something about it, okay? That's how I was, when I finally went on ahead and pulled, I was about to say pull the trigger, but to say that with everything that just happened. I say bite the... That's wrong. I'm sorry. Like, hold on. We didn't even get there. Truth be told, that shows you how much I give a damn about it. But no, I don't know. Like, it just made me want to go ahead and do it. Like, now I'm just thinking, for those who are pet parents, and especially the ones that live by themselves, what did you do when you first got your pet? Not the ones when y'all grew up with the adults. I'm talking about adults living in a place by yourself, and you finally got your little pet. And I ain't talking about no goddamn fish, no shit that be up in a cage like that. I'm talking about a dog or a cat. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But I want one so bad. I got pet trauma. Y'all already know that. I got pet trauma. Listen, let's just sit here because it ain't really much to talk about. But, I can go and go and go, and now I'm finna go. Here's the thing. Pet trauma. So when I was growing up, we had 3 dogs. Chi-Chi, Goldie, and Shane. Okay? Shane, somebody stole him. Shane was a big... Have you ever... Oh, my God. I don't even know what breed he was, but he was... Have you ever saw the movie Beethoven? Oh, my God. But it wasn't... It was big like that. He was big like that, but he wasn't the same breed as Beethoven. And he had a shaggy... It was like a shaggy, thick, black coat, okay? One of those. But he was a big motherfucker like Beethoven. We had one of him. Somebody came in and stole him. Because this is when I was growing up and we lived in my grandmother's building. Okay, my grandma and granddaddy. They was on the first floor, we was on the second floor. Well, actually, my grandparents moved down to the basement. Then they gave the first floor to my cousins because they was taking care of them. And then my mom and us, we was on the second floor. These are apartment, you know what I'm saying? And so basically we got dogs. They got dogs for all of us. Because we basically, it's a family. It's family stuff, whatever. And so we got the dogs. And then we had Chi Chi. Chi Chi, she was like the mother of all three of them. You know what I'm saying? And Goldie was like her baby. Even though Chi Chi was a German Shepherd, Goldie was a pit bull mixed with a Rottweiler. Yes. But Goldie was so fucking childish, okay? Childish and spoiled by Chi Chi and everything. And Chi Chi, it got to a point where my granddaddy really wasn't taking care of Chi Chi the way that he needed to. We kids, okay? Take Chi Chi to the goddamn vet. Bring Chi Chi inside when it's cold. Chi Chi is sick. I never forget when we found out that she was getting sick, and all of a sudden she just started losing weight. And I mean, yeah, she was an old bitch, but at the same time, she was that bitch. She been around for a long time, and I'm like, bring her inside, granddaddy. Bring her inside, granddaddy. And he didn't. Chi Chi died. Chi Chi died on my cousin's birthday. I'm sorry, I don't even know why I laugh, but that's just really what happened. She died on my cousin's birthday, and mind you, she in jail. I just remember that the bitch been in jail for the past few years, but yeah, she probably gonna be in there for a few more. Anyway, and that's another story in itself, and I'm not gonna tell that business because it ain't man's to tell. But let me tell you something. It fucked up. She deserved it. Okay, but no. Yeah, she died. Like, to see your pet literally just withering away, I can't, I don't know if I'm ready for it though. Like, mentally, bitch. And then we had some ducks. My uncle had some ducks. Yeah, we had weird pets, okay? We were that type of family. Girl, my granddaddy had built a pond in the back of the yard so that the ducks can be out there and play and do all they got to. One day we came home from school, and it was a massacre in the backyard. You want to know what happened? Goldie had got out, and Goldie told them motherfuckers up. I said, God damn. That was traumatizing. That was traumatizing to see a beak there, to see a duck flipper fins, the feet over here, to see part of the wing and the body over there. Bitch, it was crazy. It was crazy. I said, goddamn. You know, Goldie, why would you do that? If you was hungry, you should have just waited. We was on our way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was happening. And then y'all also already know the story about me and my rabbit who froze to death on the porch. My sister had a turtle. Of course, the turtle died. It's like when you go down the line and you start talking about it, it's almost as if, but damn bitch, do we need our pets safe with us? Cause this a slaughterhouse or some shit. Cause what the fuck? Oh my god, it's so funny. But yeah, I do want a dog so bad. Always have. You know, I had to get over the fact that I witnessed the other dog just wither away like that. I mean, it got to the point I really kind of got pissed off at my granddaddy because I really felt like he was like, basically, there's nothing that they can do for her. So why would even bother? And I'm like, because she wasn't eating. And that's why she was sick. And I was like, damn, bitch, you could have made her feel comfortable by bringing her in the house, whatever, some warm weather and all that stuff. And you didn't even want to do that. You were just waiting for her to go. Huh? Is that what it was? Ugh. Anyway, moving on from that. So yeah, my pet people, give me some advice. Tell me what you think I should do. Or suggestions. But moving on, Kiki Wyatt. Kiki. So a few days ago, like right after I did what it is, her son, I think he's the oldest, Rajan, I think that's his name. And mind you, ever since this came out, I don't know what's going on with the algorithm. Like, listen, these phones really be in these apps. They really be listening to us because never in my life have I ever seen this boy on TikTok. The story comes out. The video was played. I seen the video. Somebody had posted it on Twitter. Then I synced it on like the blogs, right? Next thing I know, I go on TikTok. I'm not searching for nobody. I'm just scrolling. His video pop up. Then his explanation video pops up after that or whatever, and I just start watching it or whatever. But basically, he said, put a finger down if your mother exploited your cancer diagnosis that you had when you were a teen on the family television show, reality TV show, and then wound up telling you that you having cancer was karma for you being LGBT. Because he is gay. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, God damn. And when I heard that, I felt hurt instantly. I felt hurt instantly for the simple fact that whether you believe that Kiki said that or not, or that he's doing this for attention or not, which I truly don't believe, but at the same time, I can get why people may believe that. But there are so many people who are in the LGBT community who have experienced things of this such. And when I mean things of that such, I mean the disownment, the acting as if they're okay with the fact that they are not heterosexual, but then want to say shady and disgusting things about them behind their backs or to their face, you know, make them feel uncomfortable, make them feel worthless and things of that such. And it pains me to know that a lot of people still in this day and age are going through that. And, you know, sometimes I feel a little guilty about the fact that I didn't have to go through that. My mama said, bitch, already. I never forget. I never forget. So my friend had came over to the crib, and, you know, she was spending some time and all that stuff, whatever. And my mama liked her and all that stuff, whatever. Mind you, this was the first girl I had ever bring home, okay? And I told y'all my coming out story. I had told my mom that I was bisexual at first, and my mom was like, oh, okay, so which one do you like more? I lied and said dudes, but that really wasn't what it was. And then so when I brought a girl home, my manager, I just said that was my friend. Okay, cool. We was up in Walmart, like probably the next week or so. And I had told her, I was like, so you know that's my girlfriend, right? And she was like, I already know that. I said, oh, okay. And that was just it. She said, bitch, I knew before you knew, okay? Like, it is what it is. I was like, oh, all right. Mind you, it's just rainbow flags all up in this family, okay? Let me tell you a story. So I got a cousin who was like a hardcore stud. I probably told y'all this before. She was a hardcore stud. Like, a hardcore stud. I mean, like, niggered out, Caesar fade, you know, all of that shit. Girlfriend and everything, you know, doing all of that. And then next thing I know, and she was there for a minute. Next thing I know, she had a nigga. And I mean, she still looked like a nigga herself, and she had a nigga. And now she girly, and she only fuck with niggas. And I said, oh, bitch, that was a phase? Or what? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? And had some kids. Got a couple of kids, too. And I was like, But all right, you know, that's interesting. You know, so yeah, I didn't have to, I have acceptance. Now, let me tell you something. When it comes down to it, I really think that I haven't really told my grandparents. My granddaddy really don't know. And if he do know, he one of those type of people. But then again, he got mild dementia. And I mean very, very mild. Like, he'll be there. And then you can see it kind of, it ain't bad. But, you know, he highly functional. So that man is just... Anyway, the thing of it is, you know, because he keep on, every time he'll text us or whatever, talking about, like, when we gonna get married and all that shit. To who? I ain't get married to no goddamn nigga. Like, what the fuck? I ain't explicitly told my grandmama that I was gay, okay? But, you know, I'm pretty sure she knows, and she just probably try to ignore it. She's one of those. And that's just how it's gonna stay. But I ain't gotta say nothing else, okay? I keep sending me morning texts to let us know that we good or whatever, and I'm great, okay? We don't, like, this family don't get deep like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it really bothers me when I still hear people are going through disownment from their family and going through negative shit with their family when they want to come out. And then, you know, this is the reason why People are in the closet. You got DL people, men and women, and all this stuff, which goes on to affect other people, and it's just really fucked up. And this whole situation with Kiki, and I know she put out a post basically saying that she loves her son regardless, and she'll never do anything to, she loves the gays and all that shit or whatever the fuck. Basically denying, not 100% denying that she said what she said, that he said that she said, but basically trying to say that she loves her son. My thing of it is, it's not far-fetched and it's not hard to believe, because if you did watch Kiki Wyatt's reality show that was only one season with her husband at the time, which they are no longer together, and this the husband that always had the wife beaters on, the black tanks. Okay, I'm like, damn nigga, can you put a shirt on? He always had a do-rag on and a black tank. That's all he wore. I'm like, you got a little muscle. I seen better, but okay. I thought he was a good dude. I don't know why they broke up, but it was like after that show came on, that reality show came on. Yeah, they got a divorce. Mind you, they have a son who is disabled. Okay. And I mean severely disabled. They was always at the hospital and all this stuff, whatever. And I've seen comments where people have said they don't even understand why she went on ahead and had the baby, knowing that the baby was going to come out, because they did tests and everything, and they knew that the baby was going to come out with some severe problems or whatever, and she still decided to go ahead with the pregnancy. Mind you, we already know that Kiki Wyatt already got like 1,000 kids, right? And then you got on top of the fact that your oldest son is dealing with cancer, put that out there to the world, and he's basically saying that she put that out there and used it as a storyline without his consent. Okay, and I was like, oh, okay, that's if that's the truth, that's messed up. But at the same time, I'm more so focused on the fact that you said that him having cancer is allegedly, according to him having cancer is karma for him being gay. And I said, and as much as this may sound because I'm trying to make a point. Now, it would have been equally fucked up if he would have came back at her and said, your karma for your nastiness and your attitude and not standing up for me and for my siblings and going through things that you went through, all the bad things that you went through, your karma for all of that shit is your youngest son with the disabilities. Now, you see how fucked up that sounds, and how I would slap the shit out of somebody if they would have said that for real in real life. That's just as how fucked up it is to say that your karma for having cancer is because of you being LGBT. That, like, what? Why would you say that to your child? And for me, it's not hard to believe that she or her mother would have said that, because if you watch Kiki's World, okay, you probably can watch it on the All Black app. I actually watched the whole season, okay, and it was cute for what it was, but you can kind of see the cracks in it. You know what I'm saying? We know that Kiki ain't all the way right up there, and the reason why is because of her mom, all right? Kiki literally is the product of a white mom and a black father or whoever, and the white mom is literally one of those ones that you can tell literally will call their kids the N-word. And according to the son, Kiki's son, yeah, she's done that, according to him, okay? And she gives off that. And if you watch the show, he wasn't even speaking to the grandmama, because the grandmama said some nasty shit about him being gay. And he was offended about it. And the way that Kiki was basically trying to make him have this conversation with her and to respect her, and it's like, absolutely not. So yeah, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. So even though we didn't explicitly see Kiki say these things or give that off in that particular, you could tell. And even if you go back, somebody played an old clip from when she had her, I don't know if she was on R&B Divas, and that was when Michael Jamar was on there, her other ex-husband. And she has a fuse, okay? And when Raja was really, really young, and, they was talking about if he get married to a woman and all this stuff, and, she said something. What, you want him to be with a man? Like, it was like she was discussing with your wife. And I get it. I get it to a sense. It was just like the way that she said it kind of was like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? And I understand if a parent, like, parents really don't have it in their mind, oh, I want a gay child. I want a gay child. Well, then you saying that some people do be like, I want a gay child. But most of them, they don't. You know what I'm saying? And most of them, it's not rooted in a few of them, I should say, when they say that they don't want a gay child, it's not rooted in homophobia. It's rooted in the fact that they don't want them to go through what people who are gay have been through, who have been hate crimed and talked about and all of that stuff. They know that they will struggle, right? Others, they're doing it simply because of homophobia. And when it came to Kiki and the way that she did that shit, that's just really what it was given. But at the same time, it's really sad. It's really sad. People like, why y'all be bringing this stuff up to the public and all this stuff? You know, usually, sometimes for some of them, they probably try to handle it privately, and then they like, well, this is the only way to get through to you. Let me do it publicly. And I get it sometimes. Sometimes I be for it. Sometimes I'm not. I'll never forget when I had met Kiki. Kiki was looking at me up there like, bitch, what the fuck is you doing here? She just gives off that vibe. Lady is talented as hell, but she just has a nasty attitude about her a little bit. No shade. But I really hope that, you know, he doesn't live with her. He's not taking money from her, whatever. I don't know if they can work on that relationship. Truthfully, if I was to put my parent or my sibling or somebody that was in my life on blast publicly, that means that I am willing and I am ready to let go of that relationship fully. Because once you publicly put somebody on blast or whatever, I just don't see how you can come back from that. At least for a person like me. You publicly blast me, we're done. You know what I'm saying? So I just wish, I hope he find peace in his life. You know what I'm saying? I hope Kiki, you know, be able to get her shit together as well. I really hope that she did not say that, because that is terrible. That is terrible. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if that was the truth. Like, she's not going to really come out and say, yeah, I said that shit. Because no, that ain't nobody going to say that. Not in this day and age. Like, girl, she still need gigs. Don't she perform at pride parades and all that stuff? And it gets me when people be like, well, her brother is this and her brother is that. Just because your family member is something and you okay with your family member, that is different than your actual child, okay? Just like people saying people can't be racist because they're married to I don't dislike black. They don't like, they can't be racist towards black folks. He or she is married to a black man or a woman. That don't mean a good goddamn thing. That was just that one black man or woman that they actually like. And they make an exception for it. And they can be racist towards them in that. And ain't no telling what else is going on in their relationship. I mean, come on, slavery. Slave masters couldn't stand motherfucking black folks, but still would go to bed with them and had kids with them. We saw how that went down. That's how a lot of us got here. Well, let me not say a lot of us. I was so surprised when I did my 21andMe. Was it 21andMe? No, I did Ancestry. And they said, girl, I had way less European blood up in me than I thought. And I was so happy. I'm nigga down, girl. I'm nigga down. Like, my biggest region is Nigeria. What's up, cousins? Okay, I want to know which tribe I'm from, though. I really do. Which one I'm from? For my Nigerian people, which one? Which one do I look like I would be from? Okay, but yeah, that thing came back less than 9%. I said, thank God. Woo! Because a part of me was like bracing, like, damn, I know it's gonna be at least 30%, you know. But they said no. It was less than 6. I said, God damn. I was like, nah. Anyway, so yeah, I want them to get that shit together. Also, I'm gonna need Kelly Price to get her shit together too. Now, see, I hate this. I hate this because I can understand where the frustration comes from. And this is one of those situations where a person just get fed up until they fucking explode. because they taking it, and then they get tired of taking it and keeping quiet until they fucking explode, and then when they explode, they say the wrong fucking thing, okay? And then you have people kind of understanding where you're coming from, but also saying, yeah, I get you frustrated, and I get you being upset because that was kind of messed up that they did what they did, but at the same time, you are a terrible person at that, so I really don't give a damn, because that's literally what I've been seeing when it comes to this, and I've been meaning to talk about it, but I think it happened like a couple of weeks ago or last week. Kelly Price had came on to the, she put a little video up, and she said, you black women are some of the most disgustingly and vile people when you DEI hires and you DEI black women and all this shit or whatever. Basically was running down on them. She didn't differentiate. She said black women. And I was like, God damn, what the fuck went down? So apparently, like, she was just really mad. And then you get Clarissa Shields. Lord help her. Like, she bothers me only because of the simple fact that she acts as if Papoose is the first man that she's ever been with. And maybe he's the first man that actually showed her real love. I don't know. Like, Papoose is really her accessory now. And he's showing up at her events and everything, and she proudly showing him off, which is great. Because I don't understand being in a relationship if you can't show your person off. You know what I'm saying? Or if you can't express love for him and all that shit. So on that front, I get it. But it's just the way that she be doing shit. And it's like you're not doing it for the purpose of being in love with this person. You're doing it to spite other people. Because you proved that with that last tweet that she had put out that went viral of her talking about some... You know, I'm gonna make the bitches mad. Y'all gonna be mad as shit when I get pregnant by Papoose. Bitch, no the fuck we're not. Girl, she said that shit like everybody is lining up to get pregnant by this man. Like he is on their dream board to get pregnant by him. No. And it ain't even, they got nothing against it. And see, Papoose is catching strays. Now see, at the end of the day, you could be and feel some type of way about Papoose being with Clarissa and all that shit. But you got to understand, Remy Ma, she went somebody else too. And truthfully, even though I'm pretty sure that he was cheating while Remy wasn't locked up, that black love, it may be black love and they was all together and he was still around or whatever, but you can't tell me them 7 years that she was gone that he was all faithful. Get the fuck out of here, okay? But at the same time, publicly, there's a differentiation. Publicly, Remy Ma was the one that stepped out first. Or that the public saw step out first, okay? Had a whole nigga at the, and truth be told, it's a little downgrade. It's a little downgrade, to be honest. If you ask me. But she keeping it on the low for the most part. But Clarissa, girl, I'm going to need you. You don't have to respond to all of the negativity that you get. You have now been thrust and become more of a public figure because of the fact, not just simply because of the fact that you are an amazing boxer and you are this gold medal winning Olympian and all of this stuff, but because of your messy romantic life. That's unfortunate, right? And because of that, you're playing into it by keep on talking and responding back to the negativity that you're going to get. Negativity is inevitable, especially when you become somebody in the public eye. Everybody's not going to be positive. And I need all of these artists and these people to understand that take it upon themselves to want to become famous some way, somehow. Or if you just so happen to be that way, you have to understand that negativity is going to come with the positivity. And you do not have to acknowledge that negativity. Okay? And a lot of people, they like to be negative to you because they know that you're going to go ahead and say something. They just want a reaction regardless. And you can't keep on giving in to them. You know what I'm saying? And I get, like I said, with Kelly Price, that shit was building up and she just had to explode. That's probably what it was. But at the same time, Kelly, you can't be upset at the fact that people ain't really here for what you saying, because people, especially the people that have been around since R&B Divas, they know how your ass is. They know how nasty your ass and your attitude has always been, okay? And a lot of people have not, even though that was a reality show that was over 10 years ago, a lot of people have not gotten that image of you out of their minds, because it's other incidents that's probably then came up that continue to remind them That's literally how you are. Now, basically, she went off because this rant came because of the fact that people was making fun of her, I guess, in her comments. Okay, um, and it got so bad that she had to turn the comments off, from what I've heard or read or whatever, on a post of her doing one of her little gigs or whatever. She had this blazer on. She had these pants on, kind of like capris or whatever. They were ankle. Okay, they came down to her ankle, well, a little bit above her ankle. Form fitting. You know, she had this Chanel belt on and she had a black shirt on underneath it. And yeah, you know, Kelly Price is still a big girl, okay? Well, she's chunky at this point because it looked like she has been losing weight. I don't know if she had weight loss surgery or she did it naturally. And when I say naturally, without surgery, without the help and all that stuff, that's what I mean naturally, because even when you get the surgery, you still have to lose that shit a certain way. But and this, I'm not against it. I just don't want it. Because again, I think too much. I think too much about, no, girl, I just don't want that shit. Like, mm-mm. But the thing of it is, I saw the video finally after the rant, and once I looked at it, I was like, what was the problem? And I feel like people really are mean and really are just bent on making another person feel, you know, like shit because they probably feel like shit. Because when I saw the video, and this ain't even like, I'm not a Kelly Price fan like that. You know what I'm saying? She has a beautiful voice. She can sing the house down. But I can't agree, like, the bitch has a nasty ass spirit, okay? That's just really what it is. But I will never take away her talent. And I don't go in on people just to go in on people, okay? I need a reason to. And in that moment, she's up there doing her job and she's singing and everything. And you're focusing on her outfit, which wasn't really that bad. The only thing that was bad about the outfit, I don't give a fuck if her stomach, you know, was over the belt or whatever. She's still a big girl. She's still in the process of trying to lose weight and probably tighten that up. Plus, she's older. You know what I'm saying? It takes a while. Once you get older, especially for women, it takes some time to get that shit together. The metabolism ain't working as fast. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't see nothing wrong with what she actually had on, up until it came down to the shoes. Okay? That's it. Listen, bitch. I was like, what is the problem? What is the problem? And then I kind of went down and I said, oh, that's the problem for me. But bitch, am I going to say something about it? No shade, Kelly, because you came on the screen and you ranted on the black women and all of that shit. And then I hate when y'all be like, well, I'm still going to be out here getting paid. I'm going to be on the stage and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But you literally just disrespected and took your anger out on your black audience. The black women are the ones that's really the ones that's buying these tickets to go see you still in 2025. If you were to put out some music, the black women will be the ones that's going to buy them. Okay, stream it or whatever. That's your audience. You cannot keep on alienating your audience because you having a fit because they up there talking about your ass. And truth be told, what she said wasn't really wrong. We do be the main ones, and I'm not just talking about black women, but black people in general. We do be the main ones that be talking shit about each other. Okay? We do. And we have to understand and get that. We have to admit that. We do. Sometimes it's necessary, and a lot of time it's not. Okay? Y'all went in on Kelly Price because of the clothes that she had on that stage, and honestly, I didn't see nothing wrong with it until I got to them shoes, okay? She had on some Nike high tops, babe. Excuse me. The shoes just looked like she wore size 15. In men. You know, it looked very Bozo the Clownish, okay? It looked like clown shoes on her. And only because she has small ankles and she had her ankles out. And if she would have had on like some jeans and they would have came over the shoe, then it would have looked a little bit better. But I would have put it on like a flat or something, you know what I'm saying? Or put on a little slip on, you know, that type of situation. Or a different type of shoe that wouldn't look so big. Because like certain type of pants that I wear, I know what type of shoes to put on so it can offset it. So I won't feel or look like I'm out of place or I look ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like if I got some joggers on, I'm not gonna put on a certain type of shoe because it's gonna show it's gonna come up on my ankle, and it's just not gonna look right. It's not gonna look right. So I put on a slip on. You know what I'm saying? I put on some Vans slip-ons. I love me a Vans shoe, bitch, and I love me. I'm at the age, bitch. Give me a slip-on any day, okay? I will buy a fucking slip-on. They be so comfortable, girl. All right, like don't sweat it. If I ain't gotta tie that shit up, because listen, I hate shoelaces, and it ain't because I gotta tie it up. It's like no, because when I get shoes with shoelaces, you want to know what I do? I tie them up on the side. I make sure I get my shoes to a point where, okay, I could just slip it all right here. This sounds good. Okay, let me tie that up, cut that off, burn them ends. I ain't got to worry about it. Okay, that is what I do. I just feel like shoelaces with the loop, with the bow and shit, that should be throwing the shit off. Because even if I don't do that, I have to tuck my laces. You know what I'm saying? So let me just go ahead and cut and burn it off. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but Kelly, I get the frustration, and of course we are human, and we can't tell people how to respond to stuff, whatever, because ain't no telling how we would have responded if you're dealing with years and years and years of people coming at you for this and coming at you for that. Because of course, also because she is a big girl, she has been probably talked about so much because of her weight or whatever. I get it, but to just come at your main audience, it's just the same way what Money Long did. You know what I'm saying? And it's I don't know. Like, I see both sides. I see why she did it, but I don't like how she did it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like some of the things that she said. You're alienating your audience, but y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. And speaking of fat bitches, why I say it like that? That's what the airlines think. Southwest, I think it's Southwest. Southwest said you big bitches gonna have to start buying 2 seats now. I said, you know what? Honestly, I'm not even mad at it, you know? And this is coming from somebody who can get into when I start losing weight, I judge my progress. I used to judge my progress when I had a trip coming up and if I can fit comfortably in the seat, like without spilling too much over into the next, right? And that's how I know I'm doing some things right, okay? And for the most part, I've been good, right? I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm very, very, very conscious of the certain type of airlines or the certain seats that I do get anywhere, okay? Because I do know, even though I am in the process of trying to get my weight down, and I do know that people, even if they don't say anything to me personally, they probably thinking it. You know what I'm saying? So I always had that in the back of my mind. But I also, like, in my mind, it's like, I'm already this big person. I don't want to bring more attention to myself by trying to fit into something that I know I can't fit into, or that I know is going to be uncomfortable for the next person. I'm always thinking about the next person, comfortability, because I don't want to be embarrassed. That's where I come from. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be embarrassed. So when I go to things like concerts, I always get an aisle seat. I don't care what section I'm in, I'm going to get an aisle seat. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how you hoes get into the middle seats anyway. Okay, especially if it's a bomb ass concert and we up there just, you know, cause listen, it don't even matter if you a big bitch or not. Them motherfuckers be pushing each other and they be mad because you hoes be all up in their places. Okay, and I get it. So that's why I get an aisle seat, because baby, I'm not gonna fight you in the middle. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I get an aisle seat for my comfortability and for the next person's comfortability as well. Because again, I know I'm a bigger body person. I'm a fat bitch. I'm fat, okay? Like, we got to get to a point where I know in society that some people think, you know, saying fat, you can't say fat, it's offensive or whatever. No, I don't find it offensive. Unless you're trying to say it in a derogatory way, bitch, either you're big, you're fat, or whatever. I don't care. I'm fat, okay? And that's just, I don't have a problem with saying that I'm fat. I'm a big person. I'm a big person. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And to a certain extent, I'm okay with that. Meaning that I'm okay with the fact that I'm fat. But am I okay with the fact that I'm fat? No. Meaning that I do want to get a little bit smaller. not because of what society deems acceptable or whatever, or because of this person to be that, for the comfortability of myself. Because I don't want to have to continue to have to be so conscientious about not spilling over into this seat or whatever, even if I'm not. Okay? Those thoughts are going to always be with you when you are a bigger person. And I do know people say big is beautiful and all that stuff. It is. But we also got to be, we got to get our health in order as well. We want to live a little bit longer. We got to, tighten that shit up just a little bit. We ain't saying be, like when I lose weight, as I'm losing weight, I do know it's a struggle. Like I go up and I go down, even when I'm trying and I'm thinking that I'm doing well or whatever, and then come to find out I'm not. Or then when it comes to I'm doing well, then all of a sudden I get into a slump and I go back. It happens. You're yo-yoing, right? But at the same time, you got to be conscious of what your surroundings and yourself. And if you don't want to keep on doing that, you got to get to a point where, you're comfortable for yourself. And that's what I want. I'm not trying to lose weight for what society thinks or the next person think or whatever to be accepted. No, I want to do it for the comfortability of myself. I want to sit down and not have to always see my stomach sitting in my lap sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how the seat look. I want to be able to go and look into a mirror and like the way I look when I look forward, okay, straight into that mirror, and equally like the way I look when I turn to the side. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to be okay with that. And at the current moment, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes up, I get, people trying to stand up for us because there are fat discrimination and all that shit. We get it. And I truly understand it. And I'm truly here for the ones that try to advocate for us. Sometimes I just feel like some people do too much. Lizzo coming out trying to say forcing big body people to buy 2 airline seats is a fascism indicator. Pretending to care about a fat person's health in the comments is body shaming and lame. The second half, when I see videos of a bigger person doing certain things that a smaller person wouldn't get negative comments about, even if it's not even overindulgence or whatever, and people will be like, what about your health? And you need to do this and you need to do that. You're not saying it because you actually care. You saying it in a way without just going ahead and saying, oh, you's a fat, nasty bitch. Okay? People who put those comments, oh, what about your health? And you need to do this. You don't really care. So I agree with that part. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I really can't, and I don't know if it's just something with me. I already told y'all, I do not like seeing bigger people. Let me take that back. I don't like seeing anybody be up here overindulging in food. Like, you can sit there, you can eat your food, it's a regular meal, well proportioned, all of that shit. But when y'all sit on these goddamn cameras and y'all eating like 15 goddamn burritos and, 50 nuggets and all this shit, and then you doing it, that's disgusting to me. I don't give a fuck what body type you got. That's disgusting. But then when we see that, the only ones that actually get negative comments for real, a lot more negative, because I've seen some creators that are smaller who get those same negative comments because they be gross. But 9 out of 10, you're gonna see a bigger, if they're a fat person, bitch, them comments gonna be like, oh, you a fat bitch, you a slob, this is the gluttony that's in the Bible, and what about your health? Oh, if you know where that come from, does anybody care about their health? I'm so sorry. That shit is so fucking funny. I love her. But sometimes that shit needs to be said. But sometimes y'all just be saying that shit because they're a bigger person. But at the same time, we got to be aware of what the fuck it is. This whole, the first part of her, that comment that she said, Lizzo said that this is a fascism indicating forcing 2 people, bigger body people to get 2 seats. No, it's not. No, it's not. Like, again, I'm a big person, and yeah, I can get offended by some things, but telling a person to get 2 seats because they're a little bit too big and they spill it out into the next person's seat, like, you want to be comfortable, but you also want the next person to be comfortable. So therefore, you want your comfortability, and then the next person next to you got to be, feeling some type of way or whatever because, you all over on them and they sitting there like this. No. So yeah, get another seat. get a fucking another seat. And I'm pretty sure, don't they like refund you with some shit like that? I don't know. But I don't have a problem with getting another seat if need be. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's an agenda, whatever. It's all about, well, depending on who it is, I guess, if you want to look at it. Me personally, I don't feel a way about somebody saying that you need another seat. I know it's probably going to be other people that do, but I don't. Liz, old girl, hush. You don't need another seat, so just be quiet. Be quiet. Moving on from that, girl, Young Thug still talking. Or I should say the audio still coming out. I mean, it's been a couple of days. We ain't had no new audio. Okay, but you know, I did not watch that interview that he did. I don't care that much, baby. Like, I didn't care about a Young Thug. I'm just gonna be real honest with y'all. I didn't know Young Thug held as much weight as he does, obviously. You know, because prior to him in this Rico trial case or whatever, I never was interested in his music, and people talked about him, but I didn't know he was that, big like that. Oh, okay. Or is it just really like in the South or something like that? I don't know, right? And then when the YSL trial happened and all of that shit, I still didn't understand it, but I was like, the only reason why I said go ahead and free the nigga is because y'all had him up in the bitch, because y'all taking forever with the trial. Like, at this point, just let the nigga go, okay? Because y'all doing the fucking most. Then you get this point, like, the calls keep coming and coming and coming. Like, you on the phone with Mariah the Scientist talking about Glorilla ugly and all that shit. Glorilla said, but bitch, you was up in my DMs trying to ask me what color my eyes was and all that shit. At 9 out of 10, the reason why he came out and apologized is because if Glorilla wanted to be a real messy bitch, she probably could have put some shit out there that he probably was saying in the messages, okay? And some people feel a way about Mariah the Scientist just on that phone kikiing with him about it instead of changing the subject, because not being a girl's girl. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, it is what it is. She's been a bird. I'm so sorry. Like, I tried with her. She was one of those ones that was still on Tory Lane's dick, and I just really wasn't here for it. So there's that. That also just, because I hate a bitch that'd be like, well, this person was good to me when somebody get found out to be an abuser or something like that, or get accused. Bitch, do y'all not understand that just because he was good to you or they were good to you, that they were could possibly be a bad to somebody else? I don't understand how come that's such a hard thing to grasp. But, when Whack 100 came out and said, well, she better hope that them tapes don't come out about what he was saying on there about her and all this shit, I said, bitch, shut up, because I do not like Whack 100 whatsoever, okay? I do not. When I say they talk about women be talking and gossiping and all this shit, these niggas has been doing that way more than women have, and this past couple of weeks have been showing it, okay? But as soon as I heard that, a couple of days later, then this shit come out. Bitch, we already knew that it was a little situation, because y'all remember when the trial was going on, and then the footage came out because Travis Hunter, the football player, right, who just got married to the old girl who just had a baby, okay, and it was a situation with her going up there visiting Young Thug, right? Was she going up there to visit him? Yeah, that situation came out and all that stuff, and he was still talking to Mariah the Scientist. And then another tape or something on him on this thing was talking about how, Mariah do too much, or she loved him a little bit too much and all that shit or whatever. I already knew right then and there what this was gonna go. Now that came out during the trial, okay? So after the trial and all these leaks coming out, baby, the nail in the coffin. One come out and he was like, right before he got arrested, Mariah was like, why these bitches putting pictures up of your condo and all this shit, because he had bitches up in there. Then the one that really was the nail in the coffin was when he was on that phone talking about to one of his side pieces, and she was just what you talking? No, like, what you do? No, okay, I'm at home, I'm doing this. I just know she was laying in the bed just like, I was like, bitch, if I'm fucking around with somebody, I don't give a fuck if I'm savvy. I'm not gonna be acting geeked out like that just from them asking me one little question. Okay? Absolutely not. Stop acting like a goddamn, y'all don't know how to groupie well. Okay? See, the bitches back in the 80s and the 70s and shit, them motherfuckers was the groupies. Okay? Them motherfuckers knew how to do the shit, bitch. Alright? Bitch, they don't have the groupies that be rolling around. Do they still got groupies that go to every goddamn city that they allowed to do that shit? Girl, back in the 80s and stuff, girl, I be looking at these documentaries about these rock groups and all that stuff. Them motherfuckers used to have groupies out their ass, okay? And they knew how to play their fucking position. But girl, you know, he was like, basically, pillow talking with her. We're gonna have some kids when I come out. Can't wait to come see you and all that shit when I get out. I'm gonna come see you as soon as I get out. Bitch, he is fully in a relationship with Mariah the Scientist. Meanwhile, you got Mariah, you know, putting her tour on pause, on hold at one point for this nigga who was still behind bars. This motherfucker is getting on every goddamn show that she do. Free thug, free thug, free thug. Oh, y'all thought y'all told me to break up with him or whatever. Y'all told me he wasn't coming home. What you feel about it now? Cause my man home, my man home. I guess you burning blue now, huh? That's fucked up. And I don't even like the girl like that. But at the same time, I can admit when that shit is just wrong. Publicly got humiliated. She caught a stray collateral damage just from being associated with him. That is so messed up. And Thug, I don't even give a fuck about anything else that went down. Because like at the end of the day, he just talking to his homies on the phone. If you just look at it, he talking on the phone. He ain't had nothing else to do. Obviously, the nigga wasn't in them lifting weights, okay? He was in there eating everybody else's shit. He was drying out, detoxing. He was finally getting a real appetite. That's why he gained that weight, okay? Got off that drugs. He wasn't reading no damn books. He was just chit-chatting on the phone. I know he was just laying on that bed with rubbing his feet together, just like, yeah, well, I can't do it because, you know, I do anything for Wham. You know what I'm saying? Wham this, Wham that. I said, what fucking hold does Lil Baby got on these niggas? God damn. Okay. But yeah, that Mariah thing, that's just fucked up. And I feel like they could have kept that one. I don't know who is releasing this shit, but they could have kept that part out. Like, they really wanted to hurt that nigga. Okay? They said, what else can we go? I got this and I'm gonna raise you him fucking around on you, Mariah. Okay? That's just really what it is, you know? And honestly, this is the risk that you take when you get with somebody that's in the industry, whether it's the music industry, the entertainment industry, or the sports world. You're going to have somebody it's a possibility that they're going to be cheating on you. Okay, like, you really think that he's going to be faithful of all people, these rappers? Come on now. Let's be honest. But yeah, that's just really really messed up. Really messed up. I feel bad for her. I do, because now she getting publicly humiliated all over again. And we told her to get the fuck out. But, you know, hey, you gotta live and learn. Okay? Sometimes you gotta go through some shit before you get it. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully. But at the end of the day, I would not be surprised if we find out that they back together. She gives that type. She gives the type that I'm going to break up with you because I'm hurt publicly or whatever. And I got to save face and I got to show that I'm going to be a strong woman, independent and all that shit. And after about a month or two, she'll be back with the nigga. It just gives that. But moving on from that, one random ass fucking beef that wound up happening out of nowhere. Girl, Robin Dixon. Fuck. From the Real Housewives of Potomac, or formerly from the Real Housewives of Potomac. So her and Giselle was on their little podcast, which I forgot all about. I didn't know that they still had that shit going, but you know, congrats to them. Robin ain't got nothing else to do, so you know, she got to have an income some way, somehow. And I said, all right, girl. Meanwhile, she gets up there and they start talking about the fact that K. Michelle, well, she actually brought it up, okay, that K. Michelle is on the Real Housewives of Atlanta allegedly, but they might as well just go ahead and confirm it because she's been around the girls. They've been at her events, she's been at their events, and they making it known that they're together now. You know what I'm saying? Porsha been commenting all on K. Michelle stuff, and the other people have as well, and you know that's cool or whatever. And talking about her being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and also Angel Love being on Married to Medicine from formerly of Basketball Wives. Honestly, I don't even remember who Angel Love is. The name sounds familiar, but I didn't even remember who she was. I don't think she was that big of a character on Basketball Wives, but she is in the nursing field. Okay, so her going over there to being on Married to Medicine, that would be that makes a lot of sense given that she is in the medical field. I don't even care if she and that's one of the points too that I don't know which one of them brought up. It was like, is she married or something like that? Why all of a sudden marriage is a requirement? Y'all are on the Real Housewives and you ain't got no husband. Giselle, you ain't had a husband since you came onto the show. Okay, like it started off with Housewives, but we already know that these shows have evolved to something else. Okay, that's literally just what it was. Now, Robin, the way that it came off initially, if you listen to it, it's like, hold on, what we finna do with this? Because she said, damn, it's like, is Atlanta small, too small? Is that's all that you gotta go get people like this? And I was like, wait a minute, girlfriend, what you trying to say? Okay, because truth be told, I did say, bitch, the fact that they finna get, I ain't even gonna lie, when they said that when Kingy put it out there and said that somebody from Real Housewives, somebody from Love and Hip Hop was about to be on the cast. And I was like, if that's really what it is, this show has gone down. Okay, just cancel it. But then when I found out who it was, I was like, okay, I can kind of see that. And the only reason why I say I can see that and make an exception for K. Michelle is because at this current moment, this will really help with her career. In a sense that she actually got something going on. I love the trajectory that she is going now and that she is fully putting her puss into this country music. That Jack Daniels song is really cute. I don't even listen to country music like that, bitch. But that is a really cute song. And the aesthetic that she's putting out, this is really, really her. Like, for real, for real. So this could help get more eyes on her, because white people do look at Real Housewives of Atlanta too. And so therefore, this could get more eyes on her. This can help boost her a little bit in the country world too. It's marketing. It's promotion. It's a business move, right? And of course, we're gonna throw in a little bit of mess. So I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen. And I was a little bit surprised that they was bringing somebody from the Real House, from Love and Hip Hop. I said, "What the fuck is this, baby?" It was reminding me of when Jocelyn came on Married to Medicine and cussed out. Now that shit was the most random shit, and that was just the one episode guest appearance for that particular scene. Oh shit, that shit was so goddamn funny. Toya was not ready for that shit. Okay, but yes. So Robin was basically kind of like saying it like she just didn't really think that it was going to be like, is Atlanta that small? Has Atlanta gotten that small that we have to get somebody from another network to come over to this network to fill a spot? And on the one hand, the initial way that she spoke about it, yeah, it kind of sounded like she was about to say some shit that was all out of line. But as the conversation got into it, I understood exactly where she was coming from. She really wasn't trying to be, and y'all know I don't even like Robin, but she really wasn't trying to be negative. I get where she was coming. But I also said, she better tread lightly because K. Michelle might come for that ass, whether you mean it in the wrong way or not, okay? You better calm the fuck down. And as soon as I said that, they had posted the clip on, I believe, the Neighborhood Talk. And why in the comments, K. Michelle responded and said, "Why be so worried about me and my overly educated and successful self and what I might be doing? Robin, you got ran out of a job a long time ago. You would love to be recycled, you little couch potato, just yapping. You should have ran through that hotel lobby where your husband was with that lady. Giselle, you look beautiful. Leave me alone and let me go yodel in peace. I'm around here selling out shows and you selling baseball hats. But you worried about me and what I might be doing. The nerve of this couch potato." Here's the thing. It's certain people you can't really speak on without them taking the shit negative no matter what it is. And K. Michelle is one of those bitches. Because when you get out of your feelings and you fully and truly open your ears to listen to what Robin and Giselle was saying, it really wasn't negative. But you know how a person was going to take it. And that's why I said, oh, girl, tread lightly. And honestly, K. Michelle didn't do that bad. I mean, she didn't do her worst on this girl. Okay? And I do feel like I'm not mad at it, but, you know, Robin didn't deserve all of that. She said little couch potato. That shit was funny to me. Why would you? I have not heard couch potato in a long time, bitch. Mind you, I was reading this shit while I was sitting. I was at home on my couch. That is funny to me. Girl, K. Michelle, lighten up a little bit. Lighten up. BravoCon gonna be something. BravoCon 2026 is gonna be something, bitch. But anyway, moving on from that, Kelly from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Girl, you just been in shit. Girl, they gotta bring her ass. Like, I don't know if this is being purposely done or just convenient, because ever since she got on this show, bitch, we done heard about the restaurant not opening up. You're owing rent on the restaurant. You're owing rent on this. You're being sued for this. You're being sued for that. Your husband ain't shit. Your ex-husband ain't shit and all this stuff. Now your ass done got a goddamn restraining order or a temporary order of protection against you by the one of the members of the HOA. Bitch. A neighbor who claims that Kelly had allegedly entered her home and went to her back patio without her permission, and she was being aggressive and all of that shit. And she was like, this is what happened. I'm going to read it to you. Kelly Farrell was ordered to stay 30 yards away from a neighbor who claimed she entered her home without permission. This is according to U.S. Weekly. Kelly denied the claims on September the 2nd that Mandula, Miss Cash filed a petition for a temporary protective order against Kelly, and she basically said that on August 9th, Kelly aggressively entered my private patio through my private gate in a violent manner. She said Kelly was also accompanied by others. This incident occurred after her vehicle was booted for, again, violating guidelines by parking in a narrow driveway, which is also a designated fire lane. The petition alleged that Kelly had to be physically restrained and removed during this time, in which she engaged in bizarre behavior while making a series of erratic and verbal threats, some of which were clear and others that were unintelligible. She claims that there was video footage of the incident and asked the court to order Kelly to stop harassing and intimidating her, for her to stay away from her and her family, and for her to receive an appropriate psychiatric and psychological services. The judge did grant the temporary order protection, but Kelly, of course, is denying all of this shit. But at the same time, girlfriend, let me tell you this. When I get my home, I do not want to do nothing with a HOA. I don't want to do nothing with a HOA. My mom and them are living in a HOA, and them motherfuckers are really, really particular, okay? They will write you a ticket. They will fine you for anything. Baby, if your car is over the line slightly, half a centimeter, bitch, you're going to get a ticket. If the garbage cans are staying outside way longer after the garbage people come and pick them up, you're going to get a fine. It's little stupid shit. Your grass ain't cut, bitch, you're going to get a fine, okay? It's so fucking crazy. And so, yes, I will be upset if I'm getting fined for stupid shit. But also, Kelly, if you was in the fire lane, Like, what? That does not give you the cause. If this has happened, that don't give you just cause to go into the bitch house. Okay? And cuss her out. Girl, you are black. And from the way that this lady sound, I can't tell if she's black or not. But girl, her last name is Cash. So I don't know. It's giving very much Karen activities, but at the same time, girl, you cannot go into somebody else's private property and cuss them out like that and not think that they're gonna do anything, especially if they're non-black. Come on, girl. Like, get your shit together. You are securing and making sure your spot is ready for you while you coming back to the Real Housewives. Kelly, a lot been going on with you. I need you to get it together, girlfriend. Porsha and Simon, I don't give a fuck. But let me tell you this. Porsha put this post up saying it's over, finally over, some shit like that. Simon said in his little tweet, Instagram story, not so fast, Miss 265. Bitch, at this point, get Simon a goddamn bitch. If the Real Housewives of Dubai was back, girl, they should have put his ass on there since he chilling out there in Dubai. Bitch, that shit was, I don't give a fuck. I don't even like Sammy because of this stuff. Because Sammy, I'm going to tell you this, you are not a victim. You should have known. We knew, bitch. This lady don't even know you from Adam, and you all of a sudden finna get married to her? Like, come on. The lady was finna take you for what you got, all right? And you allowed it, bitch. She reverse scammed your ass. That's just what it was. That's just what it was, okay? And now you can't take it. But, bitch, that motherfucker said, Miss 265 days. Porsha would never live that down. And she would never live down the Underground Railroad. Who's the conductor? Like, who was driving? And the reason why that one, for those that don't remember, the reason why that one was just whoa is because her own grandfather was a civil rights leader. A well-known civil rights activist. And you said who the fuck was conducting and driving the damn train for the Underground Railroad? And she put the American flag up on. I said, bitch. That little exchange, it was funny. I ain't even gonna hold you, but girl, I'm tired. I don't care. Okay. Moving on from that, Miguel. Miguel is finally coming back. Miguel has an album coming out, I think on the 23rd of October. I think it's called Chaos, but it's spelled CAOS. Yeah, I had saw a video on TikTok at first, and then they finally announced that it's coming out on the 23rd. Okay, cool. Bitch, why does it look like something is in my eye, but it's not? That's my eye meat. That's the corner of my eye meat. My eye skin. Oh, I guess. But anyway, he come out now, and he was like, happy birthday to my 1 year old, happy first birthday to my son, Angelito. Where? You and your baby, your wife had y'all got back together and y'all had a baby? No. He has a baby with another woman. Her name is Margaret Zane. I said, what? Mind you, when Miguel first came out, I just really thought his name was Miguel. I did not know that man was actually half and half. Like, he was Mexican and black. But when I really found that out, and I was like, okay. And then when, he be speaking a little Spanish sometimes. Y'all know I'm a sucker bitch for an accent. Hey, it is what it is, okay? Like, y'all already know my history. It is what it is. And so, I'm telling you, go listen to Tiana Taylor's Escape Room. Go to the Jody Smith Turner's interlude, her narration. Bitch, now tell me that don't get you. And I don't even like the British accent, but baby, the way that she put that French up in there, I said, yes, Miss Jody. Whatever you want, Miss Jody. It got me, bitch. But no. Remember when he was with old girl, okay? And he was with her for like over 10 years. And then it came out that they was going to get like a divorce. Then they had got divorced. And then they got back together. Or did they get a divorce? Or did they call off the divorce? And then they got back together. And that was the last time that we heard anything. Until now that he has a son by a whole nother woman. Bitch. Okay. Congratulations. I mean, Scooby-Doo mystery then. That's just what it was given. But moving on from that, congratulations. Happy birthday, Angelito. Porsha and Lotto. Lotto and Ice Spice got a song out. I heard it. I wasn't impressed. It feels forced. I don't even care. Moving on. Angie Stone's children, they are filing a lawsuit, or they already filed a lawsuit against the trucking company and the manufacturer that is responsible for her passing. And I did not realize how bad that. I knew that the accident was bad, but when they had got into the car crash, the initial car crash, right? She survived the car crash. It was just after the crash and the car flipped over, she was trying to get from underneath the car and wound up getting struck by an 18-wheeler and ejected and trapped underneath it. That's what she died from. They said in the court case, the document, that the driver was distracted and the safety system failed. And so he couldn't brake, or he didn't brake before hitting the van at 70 miles per hour. So basically, she didn't stand a chance. Stand a chance. And it's still so shocking to me that she is not here and that happened the way that it happened. And yes, they do deserve to sue. They very much deserve to sue. It's given very much like when Tracy Morgan had got into that car accident and he sued the truck that hit him. I think it was a Walmart truck, wasn't it? And he won because it was their fault, right? And so, yeah, I hope that they win. I mean, it's not going to bring their mother back, but it's going to do something, because they just want somebody to be held accountable, and I understand that. Also, the MTV Music Awards was on this past Sunday. Did I watch? Absolutely not. And this is, even the fact that Mariah Carey was the the Video Vanguard Award honoree, I still didn't watch. I saw part of I saw her performance on Twitter. I did see Doja Cat's performance when she opened up because, oh my God, I love me some Doja Cat. Doja Cat is a weird bitch. The bitch is weird as shit, okay? And a little problematic, we know, but I like her. She got this 80s theme going on for this era, and I love a bitch that know how to stick to a goddamn thing for the whole fucking era, okay? I mean, dressed and everything. Coming onto the red carpet, giving very much 80s. The promo for it is giving very much 80s. The girls are coming back, and they are giving fucking promotion, and they are being dedicated to the goddamn era, okay? You got Cardi B out here actually promoting her shit. That shit is so fucking funny when that bitch had them goddamn the albums and vinyls and shit spread out on that floor in New York trying to sell it outside. Bitch, that shit was so fucking funny to me. All these little videos that she's putting up making fun of, trying to say like she's a single mother, she needs to go ahead and sell these records, I need y'all to help me this, and Atlantic only giving me $50 for the budget for this and all this shit. That is funny to me. I love it because the bitch is included. She's very much into promoting this album. And truth be told, bitch, you got to. It's been 7 years. You got to. But with Doja, this whole 80s theme and the song going with the theme of it, oh my God, the Jealous Type, it's cute. It's giving. Her performance was very, very cute. It was very, very reminiscent of Janet Jackson, Pleasure Principle too. I like Doja. I really do. I really do. When she's on the right foot, yeah, I do like Doja. But yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. Like, no, I don't know them people. I know there's a couple of people on there that they were trying to that Tate McRae, whatever the fuck her name is. They're trying to make fetch happen with her. I don't get it. She can't sing. And I don't think she's a good dancer. She gives very much like how Britney Spears used to dance when she be thinking of Britney fucking Spears. You could tell when she's thinking about the steps. It don't seem very natural to me. And I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I guess it's not for me to get. I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't see it and I don't get it for a lot of these new girls and new guys. What else is going on? Busta Rhymes got an award, I guess, and he came out there and performed, and he was the only one, because this is what really the reason why I wanted to talk about the MTV Awards, because you mean to tell me, first of all, they had LL Cool J get up there talk about something we're not talking about politics, and I know it was because CBS is, it was on CBS, that's Paramount Plus, and that's Trumpville, and my whole thing is, since when has politics and shit like that not been in music? Especially when it comes to black folks. We used to buck the system all the time when it comes to music, okay? And I really would have loved him getting up here. And people be so fucking, I need to keep my bag and all this shit. They ain't got no morals. They do whatever to keep their bag, so they gonna shut the fuck up. They ain't got no integrity. That's what I should say. No integrity. So if that was true, that's kind of fucked up. But also, what's even more fucked up than that is the fact that MTV didn't do like a little montage, a little mention of Ananda Lewis. Ananda fucking Lewis. Ananda Lewis was MTV for a lot of us. A lot of people know her. Like, more people probably know her for being on MTV than being on BT. Okay? Like, I knew her from MTV. Like, what? And you didn't mention her? You didn't give her a montage? You didn't give her a memoriam or something like that? Please tell me I'm not, they didn't bypass her like that. Because if that's the case, y'all are really fucked up. Y'all are really fucked up. And that's why your goddamn network is going to shits, okay? It took for Busta Rhymes to mention her. That's fucked up. God damn. They want your sweat equity when you're here, and when you're gone, they don't give a fuck about you. Ain't that some shit? Moving on from that, this Russell Wilson situation with them possibly changing Baby Future last name or adding his last name to his last name, hyphenated or whatever the fuck, because he posted a Instagram, IG story or whatever, and he had put Wilson on the end of Baby Future name. At the end of the day, it's a whole bunch of, I just don't understand the whole that these nigga cells, Future got on these nigga cells, okay? And what I mean by that, y'all will stand up for a man and go so hard and find any reason to downplay Russell Wilson's contribution to being around Baby Future or even being in a relationship with Ciara, all because Ciara did not stay with Future. This is all because of that. So because Ciara didn't stay with Future, she's now ran through Russell is corny as shit for marrying her and having kids with her and taking care of her oldest son, and now for changing his last name, which no one has said that they officially changed the boy's last name. They just put Wilson up there, and Russell did that. And if there was a problem, I'm pretty sure Future would have said something. And also, when they talk about the Young Thug tapes, you even got Young Thug saying on no fucking prison call how Future don't really fuck around with his kids. He said once you have kids, you should be more about your kids instead of the bitches. But Future is more about the bitches than his kids. But yet now you're still, even when you hear another nigga that you like say something about a nigga that you like what? You upset. I have never seen outrage like this. Y'all go so hard for a nigga that don't take care of their kids. You called Ciara so many nasty names and all of this shit just because she left Future. Mind you, Future cheated on her. Mind you, he proposed to her. They were engaged. She found out he cheated, and she had enough self-respect to fucking leave him and not be a fucking Mariah the Scientist and anybody else, because for some goddamn reason, you niggas think that it is okay to fuck around on your bitch or your woman and that she is supposed to stay and just take it. You regular everyday motherfuckers that ain't even got no goddamn money be thinking that shit. Bitch, no, it don't work that way. And so just because she decided to leave and get better for herself, and she went on to be better for herself by being with Russell Wilson, a man that readily accepted her son as his son, took care of his son as his all these years, and always showing how much he's proud of him. But do we see that with Future? Doing that with his own son or any of his other kids? No. So you get upset at the man that's actually being a fucking father to this boy instead of the father who helped produce the boy. And not telling him to go ahead and put more effort into being a goddamn father. And so therefore, you make Russell the fucking enemy. And now he's corny, he's lame, he's this and he's that. Bitch, what? You guys are dumb as shit. What happened to this whole rhetoric about, oh, they don't show black men being good people, and they always try to show the negative about black men or whatever. And now when we got a positive black male role model, you talking negatively about him as if he done something wrong. He stepped up to the plate and being a father to a boy that wasn't being, that when his own father wasn't. Like, what? Y'all are ridiculous. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. Like, are you serious? And it's like, why y'all so upset? Meanwhile, the motherfuckers that's talking about it and so upset at the fact that Russell is being a father to this boy or even changing the name, which they have not confirmed that was going on. Okay? Y'all so upset. Meanwhile, you're at home spewing all of this shit and you're single. And it's like, you call Sierra ran through when Sierra only had a couple of public relationships that we know about. But yet it's okay for you to have holes after hole after hole after hole. And meanwhile, Future got how many baby mamas and how many kids? But he ain't ran through? Get the fuck out of here. Moving on from that, Damon Dash. This is what hating gets you, okay? This is what being so miserable in your life and so bitter that you cannot move on and do the business decisions that you should have been able to do in the right, clear mind. Because you're so fucking arrogant. You think you know it all. And, yeah, he has now filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy, revealing in court documents that he is more than $25 million in debt, with only $4,000 in personal assets. He listed his total liabilities at $25.3 million and reported a monthly income at $0. He does not own a home, a car, or electronics, and other than his $500 cell phone, according to him. His remaining assets includes his phone, 2 guns, clothing, $100 in cash, altogether worth $4,350. I do not believe that, but that's what he's saying. They said that he owes more than $647,000 in domestic support obligations, as well as $19.1 million in taxes and other government debts. He also owes significant amounts to his ex-wife, Rachel Roy, with which he shares a daughter with, or 2 daughters with, as well as Cindy Morales, the daughter or the mother of his son, Lucky, and Linda Williams, the mother of his son, Boogie. Noted in the filings, he also said that, he has owed an unknown amount from Kareem Burke, who used to be the co-founder of Rockefeller. Bitch, $25 million in debt? Girl, please. No wonder why this nigga keep on doing all these goddamn podcasts and shit. He trying to get some money to pay this shit off. If he is. Y'all seen him patched up and he had got, eye surgery and shit. One day he come on, he spitting out his dentures, and the next thing you know, he coming up there looking like Popeyes. Baby. I'm just like, shit. You can't, listen, let that be a lesson. You got to humble yourself. You have got to humble yourself. Okay? You can have it all, and then you can have it all taken away from you just like that. Moving on from that, who is the singer David? Never heard of him, and when I finally heard the song, I said, oh shit, bitch, this the song that was playing on TikTok all the goddamn time. Mind you, I thought it was a white person. I thought it was a white man. That is a black man. Oh, okay. Still didn't know who the fuck he was. Didn't know that he was as popular as he was. But yeah, he's on tour, and they done found a body in his goddamn Tesla that they had towed to the tow yard. Baby, they said that shit was stinking like a motherfucker, and that's when they decided to go ahead and pop the trunk. Bitch, they said that the goddamn body was in there weigh like 70 pounds. 9 out of 10 is because it was decomposing. He had been decomposing, and it is a woman. They don't know. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, we don't know if he had anything to do with it, or if somebody borrowed his car and did some crime and, or whatever, because again, he's on tour. We don't know nothing else past that. That is crazy. Also, that dude got shot in the throat. He said, all I heard was on that clip today was like, something, 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 gang violence. Pop! Right in the throat. I said, you know what? What you want me to say about it? What really bothered me about that whole situation is when they posted him and his name, y'all know, Charlie Kirk. Okay, y'all look it up. I don't give a fuck. I really didn't want to mention him, but because I really don't give a shit. Like, I have no feelings towards it. Like, bitch, it happened. You was a disgusting person, okay? He was very misogynistic, very much against gun reform and gun control and all this stuff. Very just racist, anti-LGBT, homophobic and all that shit. Didn't care about black folks, minorities, and all of that shit, which really disgusted me when I saw, like, the Shade Room posted. First of all, you say TSR Angels. Bitch, what? The nigga's in hell, okay? Then you seeing, okay, yeah, he passed away. Unfortunately, that's fucked up the way it happened, but I ain't gonna get no tears and no, sweat off my back, okay? But to see the comments and people like RIP and oh, that's so messed up and woo woo woo, as if he's a good dude. And I'm just like, what? What the fuck is going on? You giving your condolences to a man that wouldn't even spit on you if you was on fire. Okay, but I mean, and he was 31 years old. And I said, 31? That is a hard 31. Look what hate will age your ass, okay? And I was just like, it was an old man who was a sniper who did it. And he said, I'll do it again. I was like, God damn. That is crazy. Hit him dead in the jugular, bitch. He said, and he was out of there. I seen the real video up close and personal when it actually hit him in the throat. And the way that they hit him in the caragula, bitch, because all that, it just started gushing. Ain't no way in hell he was going to be able, the caragula, the carotid. Ain't no way in the artery, bitch. Ain't no way he was going to be able to survive that. Okay? It was just, as soon as it hit, it was so much blood that was coming out. Girl, but they said he got a wife and kids. What you want me to say about it? Anyway, I hope y'all have a rest of a beautiful week. You see it's getting dark early. Maybe fall is here, practically. I mean, it'll be here probably next week, but for real. But hey, spooky season is coming up, so I'm happy about that. I love me a good Halloween season. I love a good, like, scary movie. I love it. And it get a little chilly, a little frosty in the air, just slightly. And then you just sit there, look at the leaves changing colors, and, probably sit there with your little hot choc on the couch, under your blanket, the lights off, looking at a little scary movie or whatever, snuggled up. It's really nice. It's really nice. But anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. You guys be good to each other. And I'm for real, y'all. Put me some suggestions For the pet situation. Girl, pet cemetery. That's what it was. Family was a pet cemetery, bitch. Girl, anyway, y'all enjoy yourself and y'all be safe. And I will see y'all later. Peace.